Oh My Geek!
Everybody.
Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome back to the Oh My Geek podcast. We are happy to be back with you. So, Nick,
Yes.
you were telling us as we were getting ready to record that you are finally caught up on something.
I have now finally seen all of the... Well, I say it like I was really that far behind. I have now seen all 9 of Tarantino's films.
I mean, you were only like 7 movies behind.
I was 2.
Or 2.
Yeah. No, I never got a chance to see The Hateful Eight when it was in theaters because they were only showing it like 10 o'clock at night here. It's like a 3-hour movie.
It's a long movie.
I bought it when it came out on Blu-ray. But, as I
Proceeded
mentioned,
not to watch it.
it's a 3-hour movie, right? I don't always have
It's
3
a
hours.
time commitment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to really
And
commit to...
it's something that's been like, weighing on me for the last couple of years. And this weekend, I went to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I decided it was time
Finally.
to finally watch The Hateful Eight.
Finally.
And instead of watching the 3-hour theatrical cut, I decided to watch the 4-hour
You really went
extended
for it.
version on Netflix. And I absolutely loved it. I was reading that it got mixed reviews when it came out, and
What, Hateful Eight?
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I mean, it might be my favorite Tarantino film. I know a lot of people have been saying that about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is really good, and not as much of a Tarantino film as I was expecting it to be.
Well, when you think of a Tarantino film, what do you
Lots of
picture?
violence and vulgarity,
Okay.
and there's some,
Yeah.
but not that much. I think there's some cussing, not what I'm used to from a Tarantino
There's
film.
a curse in there.
There is some violence, and when you do get to see the violence, it's pretty extreme. It's just not the frequency with which I've come to expect, and that's not a bad thing. It reminded me of watching Inglourious Bastards. It's like a fairy tale set in a real setting.
Okay. Which is kind of most of his movies.
Yeah. But this one has been rather controversial because it features a lot of real life people, or people who were real life people, famous people. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's one of those ones that I would be more than happy to see again in theaters. It's like 2 hours and 40-something minutes, but it doesn't feel like it. It moves pretty fast.
That's good.
There are times where it almost feels like a horror movie. I won't get into why. And it's chock full of people. Like, I didn't even recognize everyone. James Remar's in there somewhere. I didn't recognize him. I thought Luke Perry's character was Thomas Jane at first, and Thomas Jane isn't even in the movie.
Are there ghosts in there?
Was Goose Ghost
Was
in it?
Goose ghosts in there?
He might have been. I might have missed him.
You couldn't see him because he's a ghost.
It's a ghost.
My girlfriend gave me crap because I didn't recognize Dakota Fanning.
Oh, no.
She gets a good amount of screen time, so I can't believe I didn't recognize her. Kind of an important part of the movie. But, no, I thought it was great. I mean, I'm still kind of bummed out that me and Jesse, we were going to go see a 70 millimeter, like version of it.
Sorry, I passed out. Okay.
You're forgiven.
Jeez, the guy passes out and gets a concussion.
Well, no,
one
I'm
time.
just saying, like it's a shame that that we didn't get to see it when
What
we had planned.
An unthoughtful person. You are.
Because
I know it was very inconsiderate of me. How dare I? How dare I?
But no, it is a shame we did not get a chance to see it when
It
we
is.
planned.
I
Because
know.
it,
Way to
it-
put your
yeah.
well-being in front of everything else.
Jerk.
How dare you? No, it's great. I highly recommend it. Except for the people who could potentially be offended by this movie. then I would not recommend this at all. But no, I'm glad I did it. Went to go see it for my birthday.
Suck it up, Buttercup. That's what I have to think about.
All right. Speaking of sucking it up, so
I'm not going there.
as was brought to my attention right when we stopped recording our last episode, doing our trivia, I messed up quite a bit.
I wasn't going to say anything.
No, you're right. You guys are right to call me out on it, and I'm sure there are listeners who are like, "What's he talking about?" So, Mr. Nick, would you like to let me have it?
I thought we were taking an 80s quiz myself. And then we get hit in the face with 1978's Superman.
And I think that's why we both struggled with it. Because
Right.
we were both thinking 80s
Yeah.
movie.
I was like, this is not Superman 2.
Yeah.
But then again, there was the movie 1941, released in 1979.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that. I thought it was 1981.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
And
but
I
no
thought it was called
cigar.
1942.
It is.
So I was wrong twice.
Which is worse, Pearl Harbor happened in
and then
41 or 42?
And our favorite Belgian, German-sounding pop group, Plastic Beltran, they recorded that song in 1977.
Yeah.
Even I didn't know that. I just learned that one. Right?
So-
I was looking it up because I wanted to get the name of the song, and I saw it on the internets.
So
Recorded in 77. I go, my goodness. Is
So in
anything
my-
real in this quiz?
in my defense, which I really don't have one, I did have a concussion, and I was
did.
doing a lot of this on the
Lingering
whim.
concussed.
Yep.
So, well, okay. I mean, I guess I do have an apology, so here it goes.
We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry.
So there you have it. All right, you happy? Do I need to go on?
No.
Because I will.
We're sorry. Sorry.
It's even funnier when you're watching it.
Sorry.
The bearskin rug.
Sorry.
Butt naked is a good one.
All right. So am I forgiven?
I suppose.
No.
Yeah.
You won me with the bearskin rug as I'm watching the video.
That's how I won my wife.
Hey now.
No, again, I messed up. That's my fault, and I promised on our next one, I will do my best not to hit my head before, and we'll make it a good one. All right, fair enough.
Sounds good.
I've hit my head. I've had so many concussions over the course of my life.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right. So moving on. In other news, we'll address it more at the end as well, but I'm happy to say that since we've started back up, our show is now available for people to listen to on Stitcher. So we highly suggest that you head to Stitcher for all of your podcast needs and subscribe to the Oh My Geek podcast. Hooray.
I think that's actually pretty cool. When he told me that the other day, I was like, it almost felt like I was moving up in the world.
Moving on up
Moving
right.
on up.
to the east side.
It was very exciting. Very exciting, right?
All right.
I know.
Oh, Linda.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, in other news, so we know that G once again is not with us with this, so nothing's happened. I don't want anybody to think that. The real world is interfering a little bit, but we do have some ideas on what might be going on. I mean, I think he's trying to take over the world. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, all the evidence points in that direction. Global domination. One student at a time.
One student at a time. I know. So, but he'll be back.
I, for one, welcome my new G overlord.
Suck up.
You got to get in the beginning.
Yeah. The ground level.
But he does apologize. I think he was really wanting to make it to this episode, but unfortunately, he's got to do his other thing.
And we're stuck with Nick.
Yes. I mean, not stuck. Right here, guys.
I can hear you.
But we did have a recorder in with G making his plans, so I think everything's fine.
Hey, Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Or maybe not.
No, it'll be fine. Their plans never work out.
It's true.
Yeah.
Maybe G's will.
There's a thirst for everything.
Yeah. So hi, G. We miss you. You'll be back.
Hugs, kisses.
Oh, gosh. What else is going on, kids?
I don't know. I was stuck in this room all day.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor
But
fella.
I finished.
That's good.
Yes.
That's great. So what's hitting the shelves this week? Anything new and notable?
Oh, Once in Future. The Once in Future. What is it about? Sorry,
I don't know.
my brain's still racked. It's I literally just finished doing the shipment right before we started recording, so I'm still trying to gather my mental faculties right now.
Gather.
The X books.
Powers of X, House of X. It's a difficult book to talk about because there's so much happening, and it's so different. But essentially, Marvel is rewriting X-Men, like everything that X-Men is about. And not just the idea of X-Men, but also a lot of the individual characters. Like, are you caught up?
No.
And I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because I was about to get into some pretty serious spoilers. But yes, Powers of X is out this week. Once in Future, the new comic from Boom Studios, which has one of the best looking covers I have ever seen in my life. That's why I have such a large display of it. When you look out, I can't see because my back's to it. But you guys are. Well, Nick, you could probably see it better.
I see Solo.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars display
Star Wars
is in the way. There was a very interesting thing going on with two titles this week that I am not allowed to sell.
Oh.
Supergirl and Superman. There was a problem with the covers.
Really?
It would appear, I don't know what happened, but the covers on the comic have absolutely nothing to do with the story being told on the inside. So there has been an order to basically return them all, and
wow.
we'll get fresh copies with appropriate. And by appropriate, I mean story appropriate.
Can I have one?
No, you can't.
What if the box fell out of the truck or something?
Please?
But no, this is not a. It's a very unusual circumstance.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked while recording.
No, you don't hear. You don't,
I mean, I don't want one.
Nobody's going to listen to this. It's fine.
Oh.
no, but that actually reminds me of this time this guy came in here and he proposed a comic rental arrangement, right? And there was a bunch of people here in the shop, and he said, "Hey, if I give you $25, can I read these and then return them and get another book?" I said, "No, this is retail. This isn't like a library." And he looks at me. He goes, "I'll ask you again when everyone's gone." And I was like,
You got
intimidation tactics don't really work on
You got
me.
$25. Why don't you just buy a few?
No, I looked at him dead in the eye, and I said, "I mean, you could ask me. My answer's going to be the exact same, no matter who's in here." And we had a little bit of a stare off, and I was like, "I should probably call the cops." I did not, and the guy eventually left.
That man was Kevin Feige.
Yes, yes, it was.
G's number 2. You've upset him, and so you're no longer in on the ground floor.
Oh, bum bum bum. That was G's master plan that he's been working on.
That was the first step.
First step, comic book rentals. Didn't say it was a great step. That was his first step.
No, I did have a completely different type of story. A woman came in here one time. She bought some comics, left
The
about 30 minutes.
aristocrats.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Good.
No, but yeah, one day she left and came back about 30 minutes later and asked if she can return the comics. And I said, I apologize, but we have no return or exchange policy. What was the problem, though? Because if it was something to the extent of, like, maybe there was, like, printing errors, pages missing, stuff like that,
Excuse me, these pages have pictures all over them.
But she goes, oh, I didn't like them. And this wasn't an appropriate response, but I burst out in laughter. And the reason I did that was because I was not expecting an honest answer. Because usually people don't. It's something to the effect of like, "Oh, well, I already had this," or something like some kind of BS answer. And she looked at me with like a "What are you laughing at?" kind of look, and I apologized. I said, "Oh, ma'am, I'm really sorry. You caught me off guard because usually people will like lie to me. I appreciate and respect your honesty." And she goes, "Oh, so can I return them?" I said, "No, I can't do that. But thank you for being honest with me."
Then they just look straight at her and say,
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
No, she was really nice. She was really nice, and I felt like a jerk. But I did not let her return those books. And I told her why. Because, if you did that, people would just read comics and then return them. And you'd never make any money. World wouldn't go around. And G's master plan would eventually succeed.
All right.
We're really vilifying the hell out of G today.
Thwarted again.
I'll get you next time. So you brought up Marvel and X-Men, and that led me to one of our stories this week. So earlier today, for those that I don't know who wouldn't know, but maybe people in our audience don't know, Disney purchased Fox and all of its entities recently. The deal went through a couple of months ago.
For a shiny nickel.
For a shiny nickel. For a sixpence. And they got called out today. Fox did.
They lost a lot of money last year, didn't they?
Well, this year.
This year, yeah.
Well, every year, quite honestly.
Oh, no, it's been a rough decade for
and
that
so,
studio.
Disney's been getting a lot of flack. Understandably, since the acquisition, they've been, immediately laying off people. Like the literal day after it went through, they laid off a ton of people.
My buddy still has his job, I think.
That's good.
Last I checked with him.
And so they got called out today because every movie they've released so far this year has not done well. Their big one was supposed to be Dark Phoenix, and that brought in only $65 million domestically, and I think $250 worldwide on a budget of $200.
I was going to say, it didn't cover its advertising budget.
Yeah.
And if we were talking about opening weekend, that wouldn't be too bad, but by the end of its theatrical run, yeesh.
Yeah, so they're saying that it's going to be a $170 million write-down for Disney, for Dark Phoenix alone. And so on a...
well, they're still coming out ahead, I think.
Oh, yeah, right. So they got called out by it. But, I don't think that Disney realistically knew what they had on their hands or what they were getting into for this year with the film slate. I think they're looking at their overall library of stuff, but I still think that a huge part of the acquisition was they really wanted a controlling stake of Hulu because of Disney Plus.
That's the way I always understood it. Like, this whole time, people kept saying, "Oh, it's to get the X-Men stuff," and I don't think that has anything to do with any of this.
I'm sure that was a part of it, but with Disney Plus coming out, and they really didn't have a lot of because you'll notice that since the acquisition, Disney has now released more information about Disney Plus and what it's going to have, what it's going to be. I don't think they really had a lot of the digital infrastructure built for Disney Plus, and I think that they're now using Hulu. Hulu will still exist, but I think a lot of the digital infrastructure that Hulu used, I think Disney is now using that as well. Personally, I don't know that as a fact, but it sure seems that way.
All I know is I'm getting the bundle when it comes out.
Yeah, the bundle's out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$12.99.
So what all is with the Hulu bundle?
Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
Yep.
For $12.99.
$12.99.
And I'm like this. I was like already this close to start subscribing to ESPN Plus because they've got like some. Like I want to watch that Peyton Manning show.
Well, I was just about to ask. So, what is ESPN Plus?
So it's essentially ESPN's way of getting you to pay extra money to watch other stuff that's not on their regular cable. It was basically they're like, you're already paying for us. We want you to pay again, and we'll give you some extra crap. But some of that extra crap actually looks good. Like I said, Peyton Manning show. It's exploring various. Okay, like there's one where he's with Fred Biletnikoff and they're exploring how effective Stickum actually was. The answer is like very. There's another one where he's going to go and talk to the 1972 Miami Dolphins, who, for those who don't know, are the only undefeated team in NFL history.
To win a championship.
I mean, all the way, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it just looks really good. I mean, is Kobe Bryant show detail on ESPN Plus, or is that just anywhere?
Honestly, I don't know.
Because I correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I think it is on ESPN Plus, and that show's fantastic. I love watching that when they do like their little like clips and whatnot. Because I don't have ESPN Plus yet. But anyway, I was on the verge of canceling Hulu. I was on the verge of subscribing to ESPN Plus for $12.99. I can get both of them and Disney Plus. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'd do it just for two of them.
All right.
I'm tempted to do it because I want to get Plus, and then they're moving the Orville over to Hulu.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't realize that, but I learned that today.
Yeah, the season 3 will be on Hulu because they were. I guess it's a better budget.
Yeah, and I heard that Seth said that because of his schedule, that he didn't feel that he'd be able to deliver the episodes in time to the network, and so they came up with a kind of a compromise, and they agreed that Hulu would be the avenue for it to go through.
Now, does this mean that I can watch the rest of the series on Hulu?
I'm not sure.
Because I've only watched the first episode, and I've been meaning to catch up on it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I DVR'd it, but I'm sure you can either get it on demand or...
Probably.
Every time I'm about to cancel Hulu, something happens that makes me... Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Well, I also want to see that. Was it Catch-22?
Yeah, that's in my watch list on Hulu. I haven't watched it yet, obviously, because I just said it's in my watch list, and I haven't. So there's that. But going along with that, Disney is not happy with New Mutants.
Oh, very clearly.
And so the scheduled reshoots that were supposed to be redone, there's no schedule for them to actually take place. But as far as the word is that Disney doesn't see it as being, because of what happened with Dark Phoenix, doesn't see it right now as being a profitable theatrical release.
Oh, I've been hearing Hulu.
So so they could dump it on Hulu or Disney Plus. So
I
have no interest in New Mutants, so...
Well, there was something else. What do they put? I don't know what platform they're putting on. I just saw a picture of it. I don't remember what it was now.
Of which one?
I thought it was one of the X-Verse properties, but I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
It'll come to me later, probably.
Okay, well, that's good. Maybe we'll be done recording at that point.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Good timing.
There's always next time.
Some other news that surprised me today. Lootcrate filed for bankruptcy. So...
Lootcrate sucked. I'm sorry. It was cool for a little bit.
When I sent you the note about it earlier, I enjoyed it. We talked about it on the show, but I just felt that after a while, I just didn't think I was getting things that I really liked in crates, and so I canceled. And it appears that continued. So apparently Lootcrate defaulted on a $21 million loan that they took out in 2017. They say that they have about 250,000 subscribers, and they're trying to sell the company to one of the groups that's actually invested into Lootcrate. So you take over. Here you go.
See what you can do.
Is what their plan seems to be now. But some of the strange things about it is, so in going with that, with the employees, I guess they'd been laying off people already leading up to this because they weren't in a good financial position. And then with this, almost everybody just got let go with no type of severance whatsoever. So apparently they still have about 40 to 50, I think, or 60 full-time workers still that work for the company. And the plan is, according to Lootcrate, to the notice they put out last night, is that they are still planning on getting crates out to their subscribers, that it's going to be business as usual. This is just what's happening right now, but allegedly people haven't been getting their crates since like May of this year.
Yeah, this is very similar to what was going on with the Nerd Block stuff a couple years ago. Like, almost identical. And I don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes with Lootcrate, but in the case of Nerd Block, the real story was they had basically laid off everyone, and the people who were still underemployed and customers were told, "Oh, don't worry, we've got new financing secured, and we'll get crates out soon." The few people who got crates, it was just a bunch of stuff that had been in previous boxes they already had, and it turns out that they had not secured new financing, but they were thinking they were, if they just kept everyone subscribing, they will get new financing pretty soon, and that just never happened. And I think they're still in court over it.
Yeah, so according to this report on IO9, this is where I learned about it today, they said the bankruptcy filing and overall financial woes have devastated the company's workforce. Last month, Lootcrate closed its warehouse and laid off 150 workers, announcing plans to outsource to a third-party logistics company. Then an additional 50 employees were laid off last week, leaving the company with 60 full-time workers. And then reports have surfaced on Twitter that employees were let go without any severance or benefits, and making a point that this is the same thing that Toys R Us did when they shut their doors. Because a lot of their employees they let go without anything at all. But people have paid for their boxes, and they've been waiting for them. And I guess this is the other thing that I noticed that just, I don't know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, is besides their regular crate, they had so many additional like specialty crates to get as well. And I guess one of them was Fallout 4. And it was supposed to be a limited supply or limited run of these boxes, and you would be getting exclusives in them that would lead to a small collection that you would only get through Lootcrate. But now it doesn't look like they're going to get like the last box from that. So the people that shelled out $228 for this are now not going to get their collection or complete collection of things, apparently.
That's rough.
That's a grip to be dropping on those.
I know. See, that was, again, the thing that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way with these specialty ones like that. I didn't care for it very much. And then, like I said, they were just, after a while, after the novelty wore off, I just didn't feel like I was getting things in there. You know, I ended up giving away most of the stuff that I was getting because I just didn't care for it.
Yeah, it was all just very, I don't know, I'm going to say uninspiring merchandise.
After a while, it seemed that way.
Yeah.
And then also, apparently, since after I canceled, they started repeating items in there. They were
repetitiveness gets old real quick.
Yep.
So it was like, okay, here's the same thing that we gave out, a few months ago. You're getting another one because we have a lot of them.
I never sent back the Infinity Gauntlet oven mitt that I was supposed to send back because
really?
it did not. Apparently, it was not effective, and people were burning their hands.
So it was a decorative mitt?
I mean, that's how I wasn't going to try to use it, so I didn't bother sending it back. But yeah, I remember when I was still getting Lootcrate, that was like one of the big controversial things with. And I was like, no, I'm keeping this. This is mine. This is mine.
So with that, when I was reading that story, it made me think that I kind of dodged a bullet, because there was a while when they were really starting to get busy that I was looking at a gig with them.
Interesting.
So, yeah, but I decided not to pursue it, and so I guess I dodged a bullet.
Now, is there any other like loot services still left out there? And I still get emails from the Nick box, but I don't really feel like paying $60.
As far as I know, there's still like Funko has a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, but they put those on different platform things.
Yeah, like a lot of these are
Amazon
now
carries
like,
one.
Yeah, a lot of these are like there's like some you can only get at Walmart, some you can only get at Hot
Right.
Topic.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. So they have those different ones like that. I mean, I couldn't even name all the different crate subscriptions that are out there, because there's even clothing ones as well. Yeah. So I wonder if this is a sign of things to come for the crate business.
Oh, I think it definitely is. But I've been, again, with all that experience with Nerd Block, I've been seeing this coming for a while. I'm surprised it took Lootbox this long to go through this, because it just, for everything that you get, it just doesn't really seem like it's a financially
$25
sound
value.
Like, you know, I mean the opposite. Like, it seems like they're spending a lot of money to get, you know, the consumer like these really good, kind of like movie. What was it?
Movie Pass.
Yeah, same thing. I was like, there's no way this is a profitable like venture. Like, there's no way. It was. Yeah, it's not. And I mean, eventually that caught up with itself, and I think this is going to cannibalize itself too.
Is your sister still getting the Japanese candy box or whatever?
Yes, and we rather enjoy it still. We're actually thinking about jumping over to a different one.
Wow.
I forget what it's called, but the exact same thing. It's all just snacks from Japan, but they have different brands. But see, that one works though, because it's like stuff that's really inexpensive though. There's nothing really terribly expensive in there, and the appeal is it's stuff that you normally can't get in stores here. So that's like a profitable thing. But like when you look at like a loot box, I mean, you're getting like the shirt alone probably costs what, you know, the box cost, and then it's all the other stuff is just extra stuff, and sometimes it's like stuff that usually retails for like $20 to $30. And so I was just like, you know, I'm not really sure how it worked for as long as it did, but I think this was inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had that feeling as well. Again, that's one of the reasons why I didn't pursue it, was I didn't see how it was a sustainable model. But it also, I would look at pictures of just like the workplace, and to me it was like, it's too much of a startup culture. I don't really want to, you know, where you had, you know, people, we're going to, you know, scooter through the warehouse. Let's go meet this person over here, and this person does this. I'm like, that's not the atmosphere.
You don't want to start your own incubator there?
Right. Yeah, I know, right? So.
Pied Piper.
Yeah, just, I didn't see how it was sustainable. I think that there probably is a way, but, you know, sometimes you just try to grow too quick, you know, too fast. And it was like within a year and a half that they started offering all those other ones, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I mean, you know, the fact that they took out that loan in 2017, you know, says that either they were already in trouble or they were looking to grow really quickly and do more, and it just wasn't sound.
I mean, if they gave out better stuff in their boxes,
That too.
you know. But again, we discussed it. I don't know.
You know, but then, you know, a lot of the companies that they were, you know, teaming up with for a lot of the exclusives ended up doing their own crates, like Funko and, you know, and Marvel, and, you know, they did their own. So, you know, I guess there really was no reason for them to team up with this other subscription service when they were just selling their own.
Yeah. Cut out the middleman.
Yep. And the fact, too, that on their website quite often you would find, like, all of these old, you know, their old items for sale on there.
I don't know what it was like when you were canceling your subscription, but I had to go through like hoops to cancel mine. Oh, it was like it was pretty much like we'll give you your next crate at half off.
Oh yeah, well I got all those
No.
things. I don't see that as hoops. I just saw that as them trying everything they could. It's
It
like
took me
it's
a-
like any other group, that you try to cancel with. They're like, oh well, what if we offer you this? We'll
How about
offer
a
you
brand new car?
Well, then I would have stayed.
No, it took me a really long time to cancel it. Like the process I had to go through. I'm never going back. I'm not doing it again.
Well, you're definitely not going back because it ain't there, buddy.
It's bankruptcy.
Yep. Give it time. Another 10, 15 years, someone else will try something like this, and then it'll be popular for a little bit. People go, you remember Lootcrate?
Remember Retro Crate, man?
Yeah. And then we'll go through all this all over again.
Well, also, another website that shut down. I forget what they're rolling into, but ThinkGeek is no longer their own thing.
Really?
ThinkGeek.com.
What happened there?
My understanding is, I want to say that it got bought, and so it's rolling into something else. But I remember just getting this notice of, ThinkGeek won't be available anymore, so everything's on sale. They did like a clearinghouse of it.
Didn't Ultraviolet just like shut down?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so I keep getting these emails telling me that like, better make sure my movies or whatever. And I
You
was like,
just swap them over to a different service.
well, I was like, I don't even remember ever signing up for Ultraviolet, and they will not leave me alone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't you didn't redeem a single movie online?
I'm guessing I did. I don't usually.
At some
so
point, yeah.
You might have like at the very beginning, like maybe
Yeah.
the first code.
Yeah, but I was like, what happened? You used to see that on every Blu-ray.
Yeah, no. Well, who didn't take? Disney didn't go Ultraviolet, and somebody else, a couple others didn't go. So
Yeah, they went into going to Movies Anywhere.
yeah.
I don't like digital stuff, so I'm a hard copy kind of guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm hard copy as well, but I always use the digital code
Yeah.
because then I have it with me wherever I go. If I'm not at home,
Well, you also have to download the thing to have a physical copy of
Right.
your digital library. Otherwise, you don't technically own it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So what it is with ThinkGeek is they were bought by GameStop. So
I
they
do remember
migrated
that now.
all their operations over to GameStop. So ThinkGeek officially as a website does no longer exists.
Do they overcharge for things and
Yes.
then when they buy back
Right.
or undercharge you?
And I thought about that the other day because I was buying a gift card for our niece for her birthday, and I noticed on the bottom row it still had ThinkGeek gift cards. I was like, maybe somebody should tell them to get rid of those. Unless they can use them for GameStop, which is possible.
But who wants to go to GameStop?
So, according to them, their customer service page, the ThinkGeek site will shut down July 2nd, which already happened, after which you'll be able to ship a curated selection of unique items historically found on ThinkGeek.com via a ThinkGeek section at GameStop.
But then you got to go to GameStop.
And pay $75 for a game. Trade in your games for a nickel.
$2.25 for 17 games.
Store credit.
Yes, store credit.
Right.
Because
That's
even
right.
though
They won't give you the money. Yeah,
even
it's
though
store
the
credit.
Yeah.
even though the commercials actually say get cash for your games, they don't actually give
It's
out money.
In-store
Yes.
cash.
Yeah.
Virtual cash.
Yeah.
Cash that you will never see in your hand.
GameStop dollars.
It's like Stanley
Bunch of
Nichols
baloney.
and Shroot Butts.
You get baloney for it?
I guess. Oscar Mayer.
But then it would be like GameStop baloney, and who wants that?
My GameStop gave me baloney. It's something.
All right, you guys want some creepy news?
Yes, I do.
Is it spooky?
It might be, because there's a black hole at the center of our galaxy that suddenly lit up.
Nicholas, what?
I mean, are you calling me a black hole? Because that would be a first.
Yeah.
I've been called a lot of things.
You're,
but I've never
you're the
been...
fan of the black hole.
Am I?
An autumn wind is a raider.
Oh, that black hole. That is correct.
So
I was thinking of the actual black hole.
So there is a supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, and suddenly it emitted a large burst of infrared radiation brighter than anything ever produced by the black hole. So basically it kind of lit up, and nobody knows why.
Because it can.
Yeah, if it can, that's new.
Yeah. It's
Well, there's still so much we don't actually know about black holes.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
So this could be a good thing. Could be a very bad thing. Could be neither.
We
don't know.
Could be nothing.
yeah.
You know what also could be? Maybe we get superpowers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, all I know is we get hit with gamma rays, we're dead.
Or are we?
Nah, I'm pretty sure we're dead.
I don't know, man. Comic books tells me that I get powers.
Yeah, well.
Yep. So, I
There's
don't
one
know.
dude. One. That's it.
You know, it could be.
What?
It could be.
What Admiral Akbar?
It's a trap!
Okay, just making sure.
I like the soundboard.
Thanks. So yeah, I saw that headline before I came, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." So
What's this
Science
this
is awesome.
underlying part of the sentence I'm saying? The first ever efforts to image the cosmic beasts. What cosmic beasts?
well,
Well, that's where we'll have to find out next time on Starship Theater.
we won't know till it ends up on Hulu.
That'll be the plot line of the new Last Starfighter.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what's in there.
They're
They're
filming a
filming-
sequel
It's
to
the,
They're filming the
it's,
sequel
it's
right
the Kodan Armada. I remembered it.
Oh man, that's a deep, deep movie reference right there.
Yeah, it is.
See, the Nazis and the Americans are fighting a secret space war currently next to the black hole.
You know, and Indiana Jones is trying to find an idol
He's
And
going to use
In
crystal,
space.
He's
In
going to use his
space.
crystal skulls to align the stars.
And then Vin Diesel and The Rock
And the Age
are
of
going to drive
Aquarius.
there in a car, and
I did not see Hobbs and Shaw.
explosions will happen. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the next thing is they're going to end up in space.
I don't watch Vin Diesel movies. Sorry,
Oh, that's right. You have
I
a
refuse.
personal vendetta
Yes,
against Vin
the
Diesel.
only good Vin Diesel role was when he got shot in Saving Private Ryan.
Which was his first one.
That was it. That's all I needed to know.
And he was really good in that.
Yep.
He did. He died.
It's a great movie.
I didn't have to see him for the rest of the movie. It was fantastic.
It's a great movie. Love that movie.
I asked you one time what your thing is with Vin Diesel. and
All of a sudden he goes,
I can't remember.
the things I do for my country. I go, no, I'm not watching this person ever in a movie. Never. Not going to happen.
Oh, that was in Triple X, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never
Like,
watched
no,
those.
that's not happening.
It's not good.
I'm sure it's not. That's
Yeah.
why I never watched them. I watched the one with Ice Cube,
Oh, I saw that one in theaters.
State of the Nation.
Yeah, it's also not good.
Oh, no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
awful. The only reason I watched it was because when they filmed at Universal and I was working there. So I was like, oh, I wonder why they had tanks. So I guess I'll watch the movie. Ended up watching it on cable. I didn't go see it. But I was like, oh, okay. Those tanks look a lot bigger on film. Because it was pretty tiny. on the set. Yeah. So anyway, cosmic news, huh? Science.
I'm looking forward to getting these superpowers.
Speaking of
And then me and
science,
G are going to take over the world.
That's all I got stuck in my head right now.
Speaking of science, and I didn't put the headline on our show notes, but it just made me think. Apparently, there is now an effective treatment for Ebola.
Good.
Yeah,
Because that's coming up again.
so in science,
Never went away.
yeah, it was.
Well, no,
always
but
there.
it has now become a much serious issue again, like it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, so apparently what happened is,
Before
let's see if I can look up
before
the...
that.
Well, yeah.
There are no cures for hemorrhagic fevers, usually.
Well,
apparently,
it is now curable, according to Wired.
yes. So there were several types of treatments that they were experimenting with on this, and some of them had looked promising, and they continued on with it. And so now they have the treatments in place where they now know that it is curable.
And did Christoph Waltz cure it?
Yes.
Okay.
He did.
Nobody else is going to get that reference.
Yeah.
While we watch
why
this
is there
on
a Christoph Waltz
video.
ad on this article for Ebola?
Google ads. So, okay, it's a long article, but anyways, yeah, it is. So I wish I had written down the notes, but I completely forgot about this when I read it yesterday.
There's proteins and bacteria.
Proteins, bacteria, but
allergies.
But science is awesome, is what I'm saying, because not only can they see a black hole lighting up in the center of our galaxy, but now Ebola is curable. Which, if they can cure that, and it's not just preventable, or it's not something that's just, okay, is it going to prevent you from getting it? It's for people that actually have contracted Ebola or can take this treatment and be cured.
So basically, the movie Outbreak was just 20 years ahead of its time?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. It was Dustin Hoffman who...
And Renee Russo?
No, because she got sick.
Yes, but she survived, right?
She did.
Because they found a cure.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Killed Kevin Spacey, though. I'm just saying.
Monkey virus.
I don't remember that. I did not remember he was in that movie. I know Cuba Gooding Jr.'s in it, right?
Yes.
I saw it like one time in 7th grade. We watched it in science.
7th grade's your lord.
Yeah.
It had just come out on VHS.
It's a good movie, though.
Yeah.
It really is. But I just thought that was awesome science news this week.
That is awesome.
Because if they can do that with Ebola, it shows that horrible, horrible diseases, if we put the right resources behind them, the right minds behind it, cures can be found. So that gives me hope.
I still think Pluto's a planet.
Well, it is still, it's a dwarf planet.
No, it's a planet.
No, but it's still a planet.
I don't care what their nomenclature is, it's a planet.
No, but that's what was stupid about all that.
They're
People kept
fools.
saying that it wasn't a planet. And like, yes, it still is a planet.
Nerds!
Like,
It's a planet!
like, it's kind of like last time I was complaining about people saying that, that Kevin Feige said they're doing an X-Men movie. I'm like, no, he said they weren't going to talk about X-Men. And everyone just heard the keywords and just ran with it. That was the same thing with the Pluto thing. People
Are you the keywords?
No, but when they came out of that thing, it's like...
I'm the key master.
It was just, Pluto is no longer a planet. It is
Lies.
a dwarf planet. Everyone
Lies.
was like, no, it's not a planet anymore. Like, no, it still is a planet.
No, it's a planet.
It's always been a planet.
9 planets.
And you guys remember a couple years ago when they came out with like a 13th zodiac sign?
And that was
And it's like, you just come out with that out of nowhere. Not gonna, I mean,
No.
I don't believe in astrology because it's all ridiculous, but like, you're just going to randomly decide, no, there's a
You're
13th
ridiculous.
sign? I am.
All right.
Did I ever tell you guys the Nickdiculous story?
No, I don't even. I want to know what
Jesse,
that
did I ever tell you that?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. I'm just getting ready to mute you.
I was going to say, what was the static right there?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's the story.
It was
Okay.
Ghost.
No, so...
Goose does not want to hear this.
All right, so years and years and years ago, this is like 2007, right?
Right.
I was dating this girl.
Oh, here we go.
I had the day off. Texting technology is not what it is now, so communication was still... I didn't communicate with people regularly at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the girl that I was
Sure.
dating.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was looking
Okay.
for me. She came to my place of work,
Yes.
which was here. My then boss, not my current boss, but my then boss, was there, and she said, well, where's Nick at? And he said, he's busy filming recording a rap album.
Oh yes, you've shared this on the show before.
Okay, well, Nick hasn't heard it, so... and so she goes, really? He goes, yeah.
Okay, tell a story. I'm gonna have my drink.
Okay, he goes, yeah, he's recording a rap album right now.
I'll be over here for a minute.
His rap name is Nickdiculous. So the next day, I see her, and she goes, so how did it go yesterday? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was playing video games all day long. The games were fine, I guess.
That's great. I'm just enjoying my drink.
She goes, no, you were recording yesterday, weren't you? I said, recording what? I'm completely oblivious to all this, right? And she goes, you Bobby said you were recording a rap album. I was like, what?
Me too.
She said, yeah, you said your name was Nickdiculous. I said, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. No, it wasn't. So I come into the shop and I go, Bobby, what the hell? And he just sit there like laughing his ass off. He's like, I can't believe she bought that. And I was like, she really did. She really did.
Just enjoying my drink.
I love scotch. I love scotch. Scotchy, scotch, scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
Nickdiculous.
You can't do that to our pledges. Only we can do that to our pledges.
Oh, boy.
Oh, are you done?
Sweet.
That was the end of the story. Yeah.
Sweet summer child.
Oh, my goodness. All right, fun news.
Because that wasn't fun?
I wasn't listening.
Must have been fun for Bobby.
I was having my
He had a
beverage.
blast.
Theme parks. Universal Orlando announced a new theme park that they'll be adding to their Orlando resort.
What's it called, Jesse?
Epic Universe.
I don't get it.
Well, it's going to be an Epic Universe.
I would hope it is.
So
I don't want to see a mediocre universe.
Well, who does? So the artwork they released is pretty cool for it.
Ooh, fireworks.
There's fireworks,
There's
and
fireworks
shiny
and-
bright lights.
And
Water.
they haven't released a whole lot, well, really any information on it, but the thought is this is going to be the location. I know they've been developing it, so that hasn't been a secret, but that this will probably be the location where they will be putting in Nintendo World.
Oh, cool.
So,
Because right now, this picture, this small world going through my head.
right, yeah, I know.
But then you got to go to Florida.
That's okay.
I don't want to go to Florida.
They have hurricanes.
So, not in Orlando. Look at tropical storms, but they're not on the coast.
Hurricanes are in Miami. Don't you watch football?
But one of the interesting things, though,
That was good.
that they did reveal about it with the art that you guys are looking at. So this area with the fountain, so that's going to be a publicly accessible hub location. So you know how in between theme parks there are public areas where usually you can go to the entrances of different parks. So this one apparently this place will be accessible to the public, but at night that's where they'll do their big firework water show.
Fantastic.
But because it's in the public area, you don't have to pay to go in the park to watch it.
Oh, cool.
So you can see in the artwork, like around the sides, it looks like they have seating for it.
Oh, yeah, I can, yeah. Kind of like an amphitheater seating.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm excited. New theme parks I'm always excited about. And, for many reasons, I appreciate the team for Universal Creative on what they'll be coming up with for that. There are some people that have been speculated that have really been examining up close the artwork and stuff that has been talked about that they're looking at adding in, but nobody knew where they would be able to for just Universal Orlando. So this new theme park seems to lend itself to some of the things that people have been talking about. Like one of the things, looking at close-ups for the artwork, you can see they have a dueling roller coaster track. Which could, if this is this, it could be two separate coasters. It could be the same one. It looks like it's the same one, and it could make up for. Did you? Well, I know you didn't, but Nick, did you ever go to Universal Orlando?
No, I've never been.
The Islands of Adventure is too bad that it closed. They used to have a great roller coaster there called Dueling Dragons, and so when you board the roller coaster, you'd board it side by side. So they had two separate tracks. Yeah, fire and ice. And so you could get on whichever side you wanted, and then you'd start off neck and neck or side by side. You'd go up the climb at first, and then as soon as you'd go down the first drop, the tracks would split. And so you'd go off in your own direction. And then at a point in the attraction, there are two loops that face each other.
Whoa.
So you'd come, and it would time right. So you'd come, and then the two roller coasters would come right at each other and then go in their loop.
Oh.
It was awesome. And then when the area was rethemed for Wizarding World, it became the Dueling Dragons Challenge, but then they completely knocked down that roller coaster.
So were they like identical tracks? Just
they were a little different.
mirrored?
They were a little different.
Oh.
So you got a different ride on each one, but they weren't too far apart. But it was a great roller coaster, which sadly no longer exists because that's where they put in the new Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure.
Harry Potter.
Yes. So this could be cool and match that, so to have another dueling. But some of the areas that a lot of people have speculated about because of the things that they've been talking about are, as we go through this notes,
cool.
So the Super Nintendo world, this is what they've been talking. We know Mario Kart is going to be an actual thing that they're doing there. And so the artwork, when you really look in at it, seems to match up with the things that they've been talking about. So you can see a Donkey Kong Country, Yoshi's Adventure possibly, and the Mario Kart. And I know that there's going to be a version of Mario Kart. Probably won't be as big as the one in Orlando will end up being, but that is coming to Universal Hollywood as well.
Oh, really?
Eventually.
Where are they going to put that?
In Hollywood?
Yeah.
They're knocking down more sound stages.
Really?
Yeah, they're knocking. The plan is that certain sound stages are being knocked down. They're building additional ones further back.
Right.
So there is still a lot of land there to be developed. It's mostly unused flat areas on the back lot that they can build up on. So there is still a lot of land that you just never see.
Right.
Even the trams don't go near it.
So how many of the original stages are still at Universal?
I don't know how many are still standing at this point, but I mean there are still quite a few.
Yeah.
Thinking about it right now, there's still probably at least 17 of the originals that are still standing.
Yeah, because they used to have a lot on that.
Oh yeah. And so they're building, and the thing with building up new ones, they would need to anyways just to make them technically, more advanced.
Right.
Rather than just trying to build inside already existing infrastructure.
Right.
To knock it down and build it back up just makes more sense.
Yeah.
To,
upgrade.
Exactly. Also, you like this one, they're looking at a Universal Monsters area for it. So this would be cool. So you can kind of see Castle Dracula in there, and it would be awesome for them to have an actual dedicated location to the original classic Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
I must go there.
I want to go to there. And then to continue on with the Wizarding World, it's been rumored about a possibility of it going into the Fantastic Beasts worlds as well. And so more than likely you'd see an expansion for Epic Universe.
I need to see the second one
as well. And the thought is I don't know if they've officially announced the IP for How to Train Your Dragon, which they're really popular movies, but that could be the dueling roller coaster that we see in the artwork as a possibility, and again would make up for losing the original Dueling Dragons one at Islands of Adventure. But for anybody that's interested in seeing the artwork there, this one website is really, really cool. They're all about theme parks. I mean, it is you guys see it right here. It's a very basic website, which is great because stuff isn't popping up all over it.
Yeah.
Screamscape.com. And this guy, all he does is just straight theme park headlines. You go to the front page, and it's just a list of news stories and headlines. And unlike other official Disney fan sites and whatnot, which are usually always wrong, this guy is pretty spot on with his stuff, and I know that especially the Orlando parks really like this guy because he just talks about what it is.
Right.
This is what it is. This is what I've heard. This is what it's going to be. I like it. I don't like it. It's not a gossip site. So, so I recommend it if you're interested in theme park news. Screamscape.com, but that's where we went right now to talk about it, and I like the logo for Epic Universe too. That is the official logo.
I was going to say, when we're still talking about Nintendo World, you know, it'd be really cool, like a Metroid laser tag.
Oh, wow, yeah. Or Mega Man.
Yeah, well, that's Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
We
almost got a Mega Man movie from Fox. That's one of the casualties of the Disney.
Yeah.
We almost got a Magic the Gathering movie. We almost got a Mouse Guard movie. And that sizzle reel for Mouse Guard looked incredible. It's too bad.
It is too bad.
Well, yeah, because Disney's axed a bunch of...
A lot of stuff that was in the pipeline. They said, nope. They even hemmed and hawed at the remake that Spielberg's doing right now of West Side Story.
Really?
Yeah. So he's officially doing it, but...
A Spielberg musical. This should be interesting.
Yeah, of West Side Story.
Yeah.
I love that musical too, so I really hope it's good. Have you guys seen the trailer for Cats?
No, but everyone talks about how terrifying and bad it looks.
Yeah.
I saw a picture, I think it was a cat person.
I'm sure it was. It
looked kind of creepy.
It's very creepy. And again, it's easy for people to make fun of Cats just because, okay, it's a musical about cats, okay, whatever. Yeah. And I totally get it, but being a musical theater person, I actually really like that musical. The stage musical, there's no real plot line for it for the most part.
I was going to say, I recently tried watching it on Great Performances.
Okay.
And about 40 minutes into it, I turned it off because I had no idea what was going on.
I totally understand that. It's one of those that really I call it a dancer's musical because for dancers are going to see it, absolutely love it because the choreography in it is fantastic. The songs are really good, but you have to have great performers doing it. And just looking at the movie itself, I don't like most of the cast, and I know that I'm one of the very few, if the only person who really is not a fan of Jennifer Hudson. I think she's okay, but I don't think she's a spectacular singer that most people make her out to be.
But she won American Idol, Jesse.
No, she didn't.
She didn't win?
No.
I don't watch American Idol.
But the thing is, I know a lot of other singers that aren't famous that sing better than her, if not as good. I think she's a generic R&B singer who just happened to get a lot of publicity.
Who won that season of American Idol? I'm curious.
And she lucked.
Couldn't tell you.
And she lucked her way into an Oscar.
I didn't see Dreamgirls.
Yeah, but anyways.
Ooh,
So
speaking of that,
yes,
Eddie Murphy's got a Dolomite movie coming out.
That's right.
Yeah. That's way more exciting than Cats.
So, and again, just them not casting, because like I say, it's a dancer's musical. So now Jennifer Hudson's character that it looks like she's playing isn't a dancer, or doesn't dance in the show, but
we're the dancers.
But they've also cast James Corden, Taylor Swift.
Oh my.
And I'm just like, really?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch Cats.
So besides that, and then you look at what they're doing, and I just, my thought is, why are you doing CG versions of Cats, or hybrid Cats, basically? It would have probably worked better had they just done the theatrical makeup for them. It actually looks more believable than the CG versions that they did of them. And I know years ago, there was talk of them doing just a full-on animated version of Cats, which probably would have worked better. This one looks frightening. Do you guys want to see it? So we know what we're talking about, or do you want to avoid it and not get nightmares?
Okay, so officially speaking, no, I don't. But for the sake of the show, yes, I do.
All right. Here, so.
Oh, and Universal changed the title of their Dr. Dolittle movie from The Voyage of Dr. Dolittle to Doolittle.
I was not even aware they were doing a Dr. Dolittle movie.
With your very own Robert Downey Jr.
Weird. So it's probably not going to be anywhere near as bad as the Eddie Murphy movie.
I mean, just look at the thumbnail
Hope
for
not.
it.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yep.
That's Ian McKellen.
Yes. All right, hold on.
You guys remember Sleepwalkers?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of right now.
Oh, yeah. All right, this is already ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're 2 seconds in.
I bet you this makes a lot of money, though.
I haven't seen you before, have I?
What the?
Is that Judi
Dame
Dench?
Judi
Yes.
Dench.
If you find
Is that Batman?
I don't know what.
It almost looked like Robert Pattinson.
I'm not quite sure why she's wearing a fur.
It's almost like they only cast one actual dancer and they keep highlighting her.
What? Are we sure this isn't the Aristocrats? The Aristocats? Live action?
That's the other thing. I cannot stand Rebel Wilson. And there are plenty of other Broadway singers who sing this song way better than her.
Well,
Maybe they should have waited until some of this, CGI was more polished before they put the trailer out? Or is that just me?
Oh no, this is polished for it.
Are you going to try for a different life?
that was weird.
That sucked.
I know some people called it a fever dream.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's with a handful of obvious exceptions, like theatrical musicals just do not do well in film form. Like,
Well, I don't know if they. I mean,
Grease, obviously.
Yeah,
I liked Les Mis from a couple years ago, even though Russell Crowe's singing was awful in that. But
Wow.
yeah.
you look at some like
decades of musicals in Hollywood that
no.
succeeded quite well.
Well, I mean,
I
like
understand.
that looks awful.
I understand what you're saying. That
Rent,
theatrical musicals
Now
are difficult to translate into film. Well,
yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
yeah, I totally agree because Rent, which again, love that musical, important musical in my life. That movie version that they did, that TV version they did, was even worse than the film version. Were travesties. They're mockery of a travesty of a mockery. And yeah,
I think that for the Fox version of Rent, that one actor breaking his ankle, like the day
the
before,
TV version,
like that was like an act of God.
Yeah,
Like that was like a sign saying, maybe you guys shouldn't be doing this kind of crap.
right.
Like Jennifer Lopez when she made the movie Enough, that she should have got the hint. No.
I remember that movie was
Enough
being
yes,
touted.
It was Enough.
It was being touted on like the MMA forum. It's like, oh my God, she's doing a Krav Maga movie. And so I went expecting a movie about Krav Maga. And she studies it at one point in the movie so she can, defend herself. But I would not call that in any way, shape, or form a Krav Maga movie. And I felt really, really disappointed. Yeah, the movie sucks.
But
Along with most of her almost entire filmography, yes.
I'm not thrilled about this version being out there. One that I would like to see if it can be done well, that could lend itself to being a great movie musical, a movie version of it, is Miss Saigon. I think could really work. Again, if done correctly. And a lot of these, I feel that why not just film the Broadway version?
Well, I mean, that usually does work. Like, I'm still hoping that I can see, Hamilton, because I've never had a chance to actually watch it live,
and they did film it.
But have they released it?
No.
So I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for that. I watch great performances on PBS, as I mentioned earlier,
Ooh, Mr. Hoity-Toity.
Hey.
I'm cultured, guys.
Look at me.
So actually, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Performances. I listen to NPR.
I saw the Nutcracker on television.
I don't listen to NPR, but I do watch.
I do.
I do watch PBS a lot. And
I do as well.
I was going to say
I saw Rick Steves go to Europe.
I have
He has
watched that show.
guidebooks.
But no, I was going to say, like, I don't look it, but I'm rather cultured, guys.
I'm smart, guys.
I didn't say it was smart. I said it was cultured.
I've seen things.
I have seen things.
No,
Lots of things.
I know you are, but you know, and
Things
again,
where they sing and dance.
you know, that's where I started. I started off doing musical theater, and so a lot of these shows are very personal to me, and I would like to see good versions of them. This is not a good version of it, I don't think.
Yeah, it looks awful.
It just loses the essence of the show, especially when I see them now, because even though it probably could use some explaining, there is no dialogue in Cats. It's all told through the dance and through the music, you know, and to see them adding in dialogue, to me, that just always ruins it. Like, that was the first big problem I had with the Rent movie version, is they took a lot of the songs and then turned them into dialogue and literally just repeated the lines as dialogue, and it doesn't work.
Kind of like William Shatner's version of Bohemian
Yes,
Rhapsody.
exactly. It was as if William Shatner was making
you,
music.
Personally, I'm very partial to his cover of Rocket Man, but that's just me.
Rocket Man?
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Rocket Man.
Oh, goodness.
Why couldn't it be more like the Lambada?
When was the last time you guys saw that movie?
When
I've
it came
never
out.
actually seen it.
I saw it like when I was like 4 years
Yeah,
old.
I saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was a 4. Whatever. Shut up.
I watched like literally whatever was put on the TV at my house, and so someone rented La Bamba when I was like 4.
No, the Lambada.
The Forbidden Dance.
The Forbidden Dance.
Yeah. Wait, isn't there like 2 different movies about this?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Be-
learned that
be-
from that documentary.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. If you have, I'm sure we've talked about it on the show before, but if you
Yes.
can find it, I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not, but it was
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo, the story of Canon Films.
One of the greatest
Fantastic.
documentaries
Yeah.
ever made.
Oh man, it's so good. It's very not safe for work, especially like the first half hour of it. But Lombardo was one of the last things that they did, and it was one of the brothers left to start his own company, and he knew that they were going to do, Canon was planning a Lombardo film, and so he started his own to do his own Lombardo film, and so I think Canon Films copyrighted the name Lombardo, so they could actually put out the Lombardo movie, whereas the other one was called The Forbidden Dance.
Yeah.
And that they filmed it like other of their movies in 30 days. They filmed it, and then the final credit in the movie, like as they're showing the credit, or before the credits start, is that it's dedicated to the rainforest. I think it was something like that. They're dancing in the rain, and then if freeze frame, because that's what you do with movies.
Save the rainforest. Yeah.
Is this film is dedicated to all those who protect the rainforest, something like that, and it's just as awesome as the rest of the movie is. But again, yeah.
There is something like inherently awesome though about Canon films in general. Like for better or for worse, those movies had a specific charm. Like I don't care what anyone says, I love Cyborg. It's a terrible movie, but how many movies can you say were the product of the failed production of the He-Man sequel and the Spider-Man movie that they were making, even though they really didn't know what Spider-Man actually was, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Well, that was just how they showed it in there. That was how they made a lot of their movie. They sold movies that they never intended on making.
Yeah.
They just had posters made.
Yeah.
And went to Cannes Film Festival and were like, we're going to make this movie, give us money. Okay. And they'd give them money, and then they wouldn't make the movie.
Yeah. But the movies they did make, I think were special.
They were special.
They were very, very special. If it wasn't for them, we never would have had a Sylvester Stallone truck-driving arm wrestling movie.
Yeah. Over the top.
It is over the top. Oh, Lord. All right. Let's get out of here. You got any more news?
Jason Momoa can't film Aquaman because he got ran over by a bulldozer.
Grandma got run over
walking
by a
by
reindeer.
a volcano this Friday Eve.
Now, I know it's real, but that just sounds like a made-up story.
That was the literal headline on Yahoo. I wrote it down verbatim because it was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Jason Momoa can't shoot Aquaman 2 because he got ran over by a bulldozer.
That's what they get for casting Jason Momoa.
How dare you, sir?
I dare. There's probably people listening that are like, feeling, how dare he? What a jerk.
Well, you are.
I haven't watched it yet.
You are a jerk for other
I haven't
reasons.
watched it either.
I bought it for $10. I said, screw it, $10, it's rock and roll.
We all know how I feel about comic book movies now.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
HBO, though. I got a notification the other day.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm just not going to watch it. Unless my girlfriend makes me. It's the only time I watch these movies anymore. It's when she makes me.
All right. I got to use the restroom. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Yeah, besides, we'll save people their ear holes from our 2-hour extravaganza the last episode.
Time just goes by so
but we
fast.
had fun being back, everybody.
It was a fantastic 70s show.
We'll have... Shut up. But thank you very much for being with us. Again, don't forget to subscribe to us and review us on Stitcher. If you don't have Stitcher, be sure to download it for free in your app store. Follow us on the social medias at Oh My Geek Podcast. And you can email us at show@omgeekshow.com. So that's it for this week. So on behalf of the Oh My Geek Podcast, this is Jesse.
This is Nick.
This is Nick.
We are out of here. Bye, everybody.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Howard radio clearance over.
That's Clarence, over. Over.
Roger. Huh?